Hey, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Terror Time Tea. I do have my tea in my new teacup, and I have my new teaspoon with the skeleton on him, and I use that to stir my sweetener into my tea. Also, I do have my cucumber sandwiches, and I've been trying them out. They are pretty good. Um, So I hope you can kind of see those. I don't know why there's such a glare on stuff. Let's see if that makes it a little better. But yeah, I apologize. There's a major glare. I don't know if that has to do with the update, but it looks like something, is still blown out. Um, I don't know if I need to. Well, that takes too much light off of me. But anyway, hopefully you can see those without too much glare. There, that's a little better. All right. So I'm all ready to go. What we're going to be talking about, and I apologize. I'm going to have to go through these quickly because I don't want to be late for midday with Tina and Jay, which we're having back to back things. The Terror Time Tea I meant to do earlier. Unfortunately, time got away from me, and um, there were things that I had to finish up, work wise and personal wise, and all that. And if you hear stuff going on in the background, Steve is watching that uh, Roadhouse remake. Why, I do not know, but he just wants to watch it. But so today I'm going to be talking about Killer Party. And again, sorry, there is a glare. There we go. Maybe I'll hold it back. We're going to be talking about Killer Party and Girls Night Out. And both of these are what I would call sorority or college slashers, college horror movies. Um, Killer Party, we'll just go ahead and start with that one. I'm going to take a sip of tea here. A Killer Party was a movie that I didn't hear about for a long time till I was an adult. This is not a movie that I remember seeing at my video rental stores around town, unfortunately, or I probably would have seen it. And in addition to that, it is an April Fool's Day horror film as well. So I already had this one pulled off the shelf and ready to watch. Haven't got around to watching it again yet, but I feel like I know this one well enough that I can talk about it. So it is April Fool's Day, and the Sisters of Sigma Alpha Pi believe they found the perfect place to throw a party, which, as we all know, they never pick the right place to party, right? It's an abandoned fraternity house where a guillotine pledge once lost his head, literally, in a hazing gone awry. That movie is getting on my nerves. So I'm gonna close this. I can't even hear myself think over that. Um, and I try to minimize distractions and stuff like that with things while I'm doing the stream. Um, so you have these girls that are, of course, wanting to get into a sorority, including Vivica, uh, played by oh gosh, totally thinking on her name. This was directed by William Fruitt as well, who I want to say was responsible for Funeral Home and some other films. Sherry Willis Birch, sorry, it just came to me, but I thought her name would be on here, but it's not. But Vivica, played by Sherry Willis Birch, who played the really perky, pretty sorority type girl in Final Exam. So this time she's in another college based slasher film. Hey, Kathy, college based slasher film where bad things will happen, right? So they do indeed decide to have their party at this abandoned fraternity house, even though they've been warned not to do this. And what do young people always do? They always do what they're not told to. So this movie, like the first time I watched it, I'll be totally honest, I didn't much care for it, and here's why. Because I felt like it was a film that couldn't decide what it wanted to be, right? Because through the first half of it, it's pretty much a standard slasher type of film, okay? And then when they actually get to the abandoned fraternity house to have the party, it turns into an Evil Dead film. And if you don't believe me, you got to watch this. And cool effects, creepy effects when the girls, some of the girls start getting possessed. Um, the first girl gets possessed. Uh, she like literally reminds me of a cross between Reagan and The Exorcist and one of the people that gets possessed by the Deadites and the Evil Dead. I mean, she's crawling on the ceiling, the tongue's coming out, going, "Bleh, bleh," you know. She's talking in a demon voice and all that. It's really really cool. But when I first watched it, I was a little confused. I was like, well, I'm going to take a bite of this cucumber sandwich here, which, as I said earlier, these are really good. Um, so I was confused because I didn't understand where this movie was trying to go. And again, I really shouldn't have been trying to make logic out of a horror movie because generally you can't do that, right? So, um, but once I waited a while and I watched it a second time, I was like, yeah, this is really enjoyable. And for me, creepy towards the end because the possessed the entity that's possessing these girls starts jumping in and out of the girls and going into another one so that when one of them is killed it will jump into another fresh body. A fun little movie with an April Fool's Day slant. um it's a little confusing at the beginning because if you've never seen this movie before, which I hadn't, you start out with a funeral for somebody and you think, okay, this is the start of the movie. But this turns out to be a movie that a girl is watching at a drive in a music video by White Sister. Um, and the song is fun. And if you don't believe me, you got to watch all this stuff. But keep your eyes sharp at the beginning because it's going to kind of switch gears a couple of times. Then you're going to think it's a slasher movie. Then it's going to get into Evil Dead slash Exorcist territory. But once you get everything down, this turns into a really, really enjoyable film and something that I definitely like going back to from time to time. Now, when this originally came out on disc, Warner Archive Collection put it out. Okay. I don't believe I got that version, but then Scream Factory put out this edition. Hey, Blissful. And we've got a few special features, not a lot. We've got new interviews with actors Ralph Seymour and Sherry Willis Birch and writer Barney Cohen, composer John Beal, and more. Um, And basically, that is the special feature. I mean, they don't have an S on there. It's special feature. I wish that they could have gotten more stuff, but maybe later on, if they ever put this out on a 4K, then maybe we'll get more. But hey, Mayor. But anyway, that is Killer Party, and I am going to. I'm going to have to give it a 5 just because upon second and subsequent viewings after that, this is a really enjoyable film. I think if you have never seen it, you're going to have a heck of a good time. Don't go out and buy it, okay? If you've never seen it, be sure to see if you can find a for free version of it first. You know, whether it's YouTube, Tubi, whatever. Do your research. Try to find a for free version. And if you do own it, and you're thinking, Dana, I don't know. This isn't too good. Give it another try. I think you might be pleasantly surprised. So, that's Killer Party. I'm going to try to finish this second one quickly because I've got to get the thumbnail ready for Midday with Dana and Jay and get Jay the link. Or he's going to be saying, hey, Dana, are you going to send me the link? Or are you just going to leave me hanging here? So, the second and last movie is Girls' Night Out. That is a likeness of Laura Marie Taylor's character in the movie. And I've talked about this movie before, but this was not a movie I ever heard anybody say anything about. It was also under the title of Scare Maker, and it has Hal Holbrook in it, Laura Marie Taylor, Britannia Alda, Hal Holbrook's son David Holbrook, Suzanne Barnes. It's directed by Robert Duvall. I'm not sure if he did anything else. A lot of people don't like Girls' Night Out, but again, this was a movie that I never remembered seeing at my local video rental store. This was something that I was an adult before I discovered this movie, and it was a blind buy. I think it was back in the deep discount days when I was, buying movies left and right from there. Um, Mary, you say, I don't think I've seen it. There's another one with a similar name. I think Danielle Harris directed that one. Are you talking about, Mary, are you talking about Girls' Night Out or Killer Party? Because I wasn't aware of Danielle Harris one with either title, but that's cool to know, though. But so I blind bought Girls' Night Out, and I kept falling asleep during it and kept waking up near the end, and I was like, what happened? And it wasn't because it was boring. I was just working a lot and stuff like that. And so I was still living at home with my parents at that point. And every night when I tried to watch it, I would fall asleep. So finally, I got where I got through this movie. And I absolutely loved it. And I think it has a very creepy premise as well. So, what we have here is a scavenger hunt game is planned one night for the DeWitt University sorority. So, all the clues for the items that are hidden around campus are given to the local college DJ. And at a certain time, he's supposed to read off these clues, and then the girls are supposed to um, figure out, based on these clues, number one, what the item is, and number two, where it's located on the campus. So, guess what? That means they're all going to split up. That's never a good thing, right? Sometimes the girls go out in pairs and then they split up, which makes it even worse. Um, Mayor, you say killer party. You haven't seen Girls Night Out yet. Gotcha. Um, so there's a little backstory to the fraternity, and that is that Dickie Kavanaugh was a guy that some people made fun of, but he tried to fit in, and he was dating a cheerleader, and she cheated on him, and he went apeshit and killed her. And she was the daughter of Mike, the campus security guard, played by Hal Holbrook. So Dickie went to the mental hospital, and the movie opens with this mental hospital. And this is the weirdest mental hospital I've ever seen in my life. It's supposed to be in Weston Hills, Ohio. And so it opens with a nurse, like the front desk nurse, and she's reading a book and just kind of, relaxing there. And she gets a phone call from Dickie Kavanaugh from his room. I'm like, what mental hospital does this? What kind of swanky mental hospital is this? Maybe somebody can clue me into that. I don't know. Um, so she says, yes, Mr. Kavanaugh. Just like it's some, hotel and he's calling and wanting, some extra sheets or some new towels or, he's found a roach in his room or whatever. And so uh, then all of a sudden she says, well, why won't you say anything? And then she hears something that kind of disturbs her. She looks at the phone. She's like, I mean, her face is like, well, I never. And she hangs up. She goes into his room, and Dickie has hung himself. Okay. So, your first thought would be that maybe Dickie's doing the killing. No, evidently, somebody else is doing the killing. And I don't want to give that away for those of you that haven't seen it. Some of you may be able to figure it out early on. But I think this is a great little film. It has some good kills. I think the killer dressed in the mascot, the bear suit, is very interesting. Because they implement some kitchen knives into the hand of the bear suit, and that's what how they kill a lot of people. And some people thought that was goofy and stuff, but I thought it was interesting. I thought it was unique. So, what's my rating for this one? And I hate to go through this so fast, but I really don't want Jay to have to wait on me very long for the midday show. So I'm going to give this one a 5 as well. Really, really enjoyed it. There's some creepy moments in it. There's some great kills in it. And I'd highly recommend it. Again, if you don't own it, don't go out and buy it. Try to find a for free version first before you decide that, oh, hey, I'm going to go out and buy this. So again, that's the two movies I wanted to talk about. This is an Arrow release, by the way, which looks excellent and has a lot of good special features on it. But again, that's Killer Party and Girls Night Out. And next Friday, hopefully, I'll be able to be back with another Terror Time tea. Hopefully, I won't be so pressed for time. I keep saying that, I haven't even drank all my tea this time. Mary, you say I should make a girls' night out booga booga bear with knives. That would be a cool idea. I don't know if I could pull it off or not, but it'd definitely be a cool idea. But I want to thank you guys and gals for being here with me for a rather quick 20-minute Terror Time tea. I hope to be back next Friday with another Terror Time tea. So you guys take care. And if you feel compelled, join me and Jay over at the Midday with Dana and Jay show here very shortly. Maybe a little late, but I'll try my best to be as on time as I can be. But I'm gonna play us out with the Quinn's Handcrafted Chum Cocktails commercial. But y'all have a wonderful day, and I will see you in a few.
Slow ahead? I can go slow ahead. Come down here and drink some of this shit. Chum cocktail.
Quinn's handcrafted chum cocktails. Stock up before your next shark hunting adventure.